That's a really cool tune. It's called If I Had a Chicken. Sounds like I'm trying to catch one tonight anyway, you guys. How we doing? Uh, Sorry about the wide screen tonight, and I'm trying to get things straight around here, clean up some business around the office and stuff. Anyway, it is April 28th, 2019, my last cast of April 2019, because I usually do this on Sunday and Wednesdays. Seems to be the most convenient time for me. I don't know about you, but anyway, just hope you tune in and just try to bring a little information that we are sometimes all missing out on. Anyway, um, so yeah, May 1st is Wednesday coming up. You wouldn't know it because the temperatures, yeah, not that good. Dreary New England, you know. I generally don't put my long johns away, and um, you can ask all my friends down there on the Cape Cod there. Uh, let's see. Uh, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys can join me. I hope I have you all being able to connect in. And anyway, so yeah, Wednesday is May 1st. And well, you know, I'm not going to complain. We need the rain. I love the canopy that's developing in the trees and in the shrubs and the bushes and all the birds. And they all seem happy. We're the only ones that aren't. Anyway, today's high temperatures. Uh, well, this was actually for yesterday. Today's yesterday's high. So that was Saturday the 27th, 106 degrees. That was the high. Okay. No, that wasn't in New England. Maybe a toaster oven. But no, that was in Death Valley. Go guess. And can you guys give me today's low? And maybe you guys that are watching can, I want to research some of these cities where I give you the, it's from the National Weather Service. Today's low, 1 degree at Casa Vieja. Maybe there's a librarian out there that can help me pronounce this, but Vieja, Meadows, California. So thank you. Anyway, so our temperatures right now, crappy all week, and the sun's going to tease the hell out of you. I'm sorry, the heck out of you. But we're going to get there. Anyway, Red Sox lose to the Tampa Bay Rays again today, 5-2. Someone needs to actually alert Rafael Devers, our third baseman, that baseball is a game that you play while you're awake. Yeah, you know, you can't just stand there. Say, hey, whoa, okay. 24 hours Evers last year at third. Good kid. He's got a long way to go, but 24 hours last year, and he's on a pace to, yeah, keep himself right on that pace. Celtics win by 20 over the Milwaukee Bucks, the number 1 seed. Celtics are the number 4 seed. So anyway, Worcester, Kelly Square. Go on YouTube, and you can look at the peanut shape of Kelly Square. Mass Department of Transportation has posted a YouTube video on, let's see now, top chat. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Anyway, maybe you guys aren't chatting. Maybe you're just watching. But we'll never know if it comes out right. So chime in if you can. Yeah, so the peanut in Kelly Square, the redesign of Kelly Square, is actually, you can go, like I said, to YouTube. I'm going to post it on Cities and Suburbs because it looks like controlled chaos, which Kelly Square actually is not controlled chaos. And maybe, you know, Worcester was actually, you can go to the Department of Transportation, look at the probably, or that site or another one, you can find out the areas where there are the most accidents. The hundreds worst places to drive. You know, Kelly Square is actually uh, up there in, I don't know, top 10, top 20 throughout the state. And um, but for my whole life, driving through Kelly Square, which if you're like me, you've always tried to avoid. But sometimes there's no way around it. And when you do get to Kelly Square, you go, just go. All right. Because the other dude is going, I'm just going. I'm just going. So you all uncontrolled chaos. It's actually, and I've never seen an accident in Kelly Square in my life. I've never seen like this pile up and something organic to it that works. I believe in the 50s they tried to install stop signs and traffic lights and yeah, if you think about the reverse psychology, well, yeah, we're going to control the traffic. Well, maybe Kelly Square is like, what the old joke is, they take you through Kelly Square and you make it through alive. Here's your driver's license. Anyway, I went to a breakfast last week at the Worcester Vocational, uh, uh, the Voc Tech, Worcester Voc Tech, up there on Green Hill Park. Incredible. They have conference rooms, and you can actually go in there and for lunch, they're open 5 days a week to the public. I mean, you have to go through the security and everything, but they're friendly. It's an incredible, incredible school. And the first thing from being a guy and a kid that hated school, picked on, all that stuff, and whenever I go to a school, I get really it really bothers me. But I am encouraged by the quality of today's schools that, communities bitch and moan and, we're going to pay extra taxes for this and that. Now, I get that. I don't have any kids. So why do I have to pay for your kid? But I have to look at, the quality of the future of America and the country and things like that. That's great. But when I look at some of the crappy schools that I went to, really in the last days of the urban schools, and this was not on my agenda, by the way, but it is now. Um, I went to the inner city schools. I went to, one of the schools I'm going to be talking about in a minute. But, from East Middle School, Worcester East Middle School on Grafton Street, what a mess. What a mess. I walk, I drive by it all the time as a shortcut on the way home. And meaning it's a shortcut out of traffic, but it's actually a longer way to go. And I look at it and the state of it, and then from there I went down the street, further down a drain of North High, which had moved over to Salisbury Street, which by the Armory, which are now condos and high living and, all that stuff, gentrification. But actually, I wouldn't consider that gentrification down there. Over there on Salisbury Street, needed to enhance the area to it. It's historical period, if you will, with Stephen Salisbury and, Elizabeth Tuckerman Hall. So there's a lot of great stuff. Hold on a minute. Wow. It's our neighbor to the north called our star. The orb rotate around. Can't wait till it gets warm. So I went to this breakfast, and I was actually sitting at the table with some folks from the city of Worcester. It's through the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission. Every year, it's called the Greater Worcester Community, Greater Worcester Employment Resource Collaborative. It's sponsored and it's supported through the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission, which we are part of. So we go to their breakfast every year, and obviously nominate. Hey, who do we got there? We have a few people coming in. Anyway, how you doing? Not so sure who you are, but thanks for tuning in. We're talking about the city of Worcester, Massachusetts, in particular. Um, anyway, uh, so yeah, and I was sitting at a table. Um, it's a collaborative, so it was a big sponsored event. And what I do want to say that the catering culinary program at the Vogue School in Worcester is incredible. They're all young people, and if you saw these folks, they come out and they're celebrated and they put on a beautiful breakfast, like 16, 17 years old. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now in our country. We just don't hear about it. Never. It's not sexy. You go to places that I went to the other day, it's sexy. But I was sitting with some people from the city of Worcester, and um, you know, we just got into talking about the history of it, and some of the people from the city of Worcester that actually work in really high, positions, didn't really know much about the history. They informed me about Preservation Worcester, which I'm familiar with, and they actually said, "Hey, why don't you go talk to these guys? We're giving carriage rides. Yeah, it's time for that. It's time for the tour of the city. I had plenty of tours of the city, and so we got to talking, and the woman was like, "I'm sorry, the people from the city. Geez, I didn't know that. I didn't. How do you know this? How do you know this? Well, because you have to ask the right questions about the right subject. Anyway, like I said, I like history because one day I just showed up and it was all this stuff was here. So you got to ask at least questions around that. So um, they asked me, the people from Worcester, so what are your top tens about Worcester? And I think they wanted me to talk about Coney Island hot dog and the ballpark. And I said, well, let me take you back a little bit. How about Jonas Rice Square School, Jonas Rice, the Rice family, one of the original founders of Worcester, or inhabitants of this little hamlet. Okay, they were the first school. Won't say masters, but they were the first family to actually um, provide education to Worcester families because back then you had to have education. 1774 to 1775 in the 1770s. People do not realize that we hear about Lexington and Concord. Okay, um, Worcester took a hit. We were burned to the ground. Those suburbs were never burned to the ground. The first shot, Lexington and Concord, I get that, but Worcester was they had munitions. They were storing munitions also. Okay, and in 1774 to 1775, the British troops wanted to come to Worcester. Okay, because we were stockpiling ammunition against the British. And they were scared the hell of us because we're all backwood people, like they think we still are. Isaiah Thomas, the printing press, right? His propaganda paper moved from Worcester. I think it was Henry Knox, actually, that helped him move it out. I'll have to check that, but moved that printing press, probably by mule. And and he also went on, Isaiah Thomas. So I'm not, these are all single items, okay? So getting up to my top 10. Isaiah Thomas, okay? His first one, the printing press, moves it to Worcester, the Massachusetts Spy, okay? The first reading in Massachusetts on the Old South Church, which is now Main City Hall, which has always been the same spot, by the way. You can't say that for any other city around here. Um, Worcester's Town Hall is where it is. City Hall, um, the Old South Church, but that's where Isaiah Thomas read. the Star Spangled Banner. Just seeing if you're paying attention, kidding. 1812, he founded the Antiquarian Society. And we can go on and on. Sam Adams, the first paid school teacher of Massachusetts. We get into the 1800s. 4,000 Irish immigrants build a canal from Providence up to Worcester. The infamous cemetery on Worcester Common, where Timothy Bigelow died a poor man after serving one of the finest infantries and regiments from the Worcester community to assist George Washington. So I could go on and on and on, which I probably am. Anyway, 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Will you ever get that time back, guys? Anyway, so I'm going to tune out here, guys, and let's see. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Have a safe Monday. All my friends on Cape Cod, wish you, well, I'll be hoping that you guys have a great time with the weather down there. So, all right, guys, take care now. Kenny B signing out. Thanks a lot for tuning in.